Hey, thanks for the like. Watcher, what's going on, man? Live life, how you doing? Alabama in the house. Today we're gonna go over, change the title here real quick. We're gonna go over California SB 704 and the future of Stiffler shipping to California. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. We're still going over it, still discussing it, debating it. There we go, and save. Oh, I left the knife in the vehicle. I should probably go grab that. Omar, what's going on? How you doing? There we go. That's all saved. Let's change this to, how about you? That looks good. Stiffler Talks, there we are. Just moved to Tennessee, excited about being able to carry in chairs. Right on, man. Right on. I think I love about Arizona is I can carry everywhere, especially with my Stiffler SM19 Turbo. I mean, there's federal buildings and stuff like that, but national parks and whatnot. Though I am CCW'd, so when I go to travel to other states, I'm golden. There's about, what, 37 states that recognize our CCW. Yep, 37 states. And I just knew that. Good me. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. We are going to be talking about California SB 704, a little bit about 1127. To get short of it, we may not ship to California anymore. But we may. We just might need to figure out the logistics of it because 704 has turned 704 makes these require in-state background checks, and Californians will not be able to order barrels online and have them shipped to their house. Absolutely, Watcher. Absolutely. Unfortunately, we're right next door to them, and so we get some of their insanity. Especially a lot of Californians jumping ship like sea rats. They come right to Arizona, and some of them seem to have the same opinions that we should follow after they've abandoned California. It's kind of like a refugee, right? They abandon the awful place they were in, and they say, hey, please let me in. But then they start shit-talking the country they, fled to. Californians do the same thing. You're like, but you don't understand. California was so great. If it was, you wouldn't have left. Come on, let's be real here. But c'est la vie. Oh, there we are. How's everybody else doing? We got some range time in this week. Hope you all did too. Ooh, move my Ecto-Lube over there. We're going to be prepping a shipment here. Let's see, this is going off to Indiana. Sending a slide off to Indiana. Ah, there we go. Yeah, California doing this, it's going to be a real kick in the daddy bag for a lot of 2A businesses. Some have already long since stopped shipping to California, but this is going to hurt. So even like completes, once this is in effect, we couldn't send a complete to Californians. Dre, I am so sorry, man. But if you're not aware, Dre, I presume you are, but if you're not aware, California Assembly Bill 1127 bans future Glock sales starting July 2026, and Senate Bill 704 requires you all to get background checks for detachable barrels that go in every single pistol. Every single semi-auto pistol has detachable barrels. Camden, you can get one on our website, stifflermanufacturing.com. We've got a sale going on this month, 15 to 20% off. 100% EDC, 100%. Gonzo, Stiff Nation, what's going on, man? Oh, there we go. Let's move that there. Yep, going to get this sent off to Indiana. Actually, let me drop that in the chat for you. I know I've got it in the description, but the chat is just so much easier. Boom, there you go. We ourselves don't have a storefront, but we do have several that do have stores. So, for example, the Hub in Tucson, Mesa, and Lakeside have some of our slides. Sirius Arms in Prescott has some of our slides. And then starting next month, let's see, I want to say Red Team Armory might have some of our slides starting next month. No, that might not be the right one. Sorry, Task Force Red, Firearms and Gunsmith. That's what I was thinking Red. Task Force Red, Firearms and Gunsmith in Tucson might have some of our slides next month. We'll see what happens with that. So if you're in Tucson, Mesa, Lakeside, or Prescott, there are stores that have our slides or can order our slides. Otherwise, we could just ship online, no problem. There we go, got that there. Orders take 1 to 2 weeks, Gonzo. Damian Christian, what's going on, man? R&J Media. Though you might want to get one shipped before you move. We're doing our 15 to 20% off stripped slide sales this month, and that's usually one of our better sales. That is our best sale. I don't think we've ever done anything higher than that. We do 10% from time to time, occasionally 15%, but 20%, yeah, that's usually our highest. Dropped off with USPS. A customer is asking why he's not seeing movement on shipment. For those of you who are not aware, today's a holiday. And the customer ordered the slide on a Saturday night. So post office closed on Sunday, post office closed on Monday. It's not going to move until Tuesday morning. We use USPS, so yep, we don't have an Amazon warehouse, unfortunately. Would be kind of cool. Stiff warehouse. Let's see here. Yep, that's tracking. He wants to know why the post office is closed on a holiday. R&J Media, Stiffler, heck yeah. Top seller so far. So top seller all time is the SM19 Viper. Triple windows, good for porting, plus a little bit of stylish stuff going on here. But top selling right now, the Turbo. The Turbo is the top selling right now. But top selling all time, the Viper. Damian Christian, hell yeah. America. Oh, absolutely. So, SM19 Turbo is milled from 17.4 stainless steel. And that's a bar just like this. All of our slides are milled from 17.4 stainless steel. All of our slides come with a Trijicon RMR flat optic cut, like this one here, and come topped with an aluminum RMR cover plate. Unlike other companies that use plastic, we use aluminum, so that way your optic cover plate doesn't crack or break or, you know, anything when you happen to be shooting or just walking around with it. All of them are coated in Cerakote. Primarily we use H series, but we will occasionally use F series and FX series, and we're looking to expand what Cerakotes we use. The Turbo has front grip serrations, much like the Gen 5s, though it is at a canted angle, and has a top ported window in a rounded rectangular shape that will fit most ported barrels. If you get a complete, we use an SCT Manufacturing upper parts kit, and our barrel is 416R stainless steel from ELD Performance. The optic, we don't have optics, but we picked this up from Siley. Right on, Damien. Heck yeah. R&J, we actually have threaded barrels also from ELD Performance. We have tested our slides with some of them, but not with every product out there. So, for example, we have not tested it with a Radian ramjet and afterburner, but our customers have, and they said they like it just fine. But I can't say we've tested it on every single product out there, every single comp and suppressor. But from what we have seen so far, works great. The amount of money we would lose if we tested it on everything. Oh, it absolutely will. And as a Gen 3, you can switch it to a 19X by changing out the back plate. There's a few videos. I recommend looking up RTT Guns and Gear. He has a good video on swapping the Gen 3s onto a 19X. As well as, of course, Gen 4 and Gen 5. And you might need to change a few things, like obviously the back plate. You might need a recoil spring adapter. And then for the Gen 5s being ambidextrous, you might need to change out the slide stop release. No, we don't do anything with Canic. We actually make all of these slides ourselves. So there's limited number of products that we can mill because a lot of things still have patent. And Canic, I believe, is still under patent for a lot of their more popular slides and stuff. And same thing for like M&P 2.0. People ask us to make those. It's under patent until 2034. So we can't touch it for 9 more years. You know, Gonzo, I'm pretty sure that's all the swap is for a 19X, but to be sure, I'd look up a video on it. That's like why everybody can do 1911, because the patent on 1911 expired ages ago. We don't do custom Cerakote work on people's other slides. We just do it on our own slides. And our slide prices range from $145 to $285, depending on if you're getting stripped or complete, or, you know, what color scheme you're going with, what model. And then, of course, this month we're doing 15 to 20% off because it's Glocktober. We won't know until we make our SM43 slide. And we have a micro dagger frame, and we do have a few 43 slides in the shop, just not our 43 yet. Yeah, we test some of our slides on SCT frames, as well as, of course, Glock OEM, because that's the standard. PSA Dagger, of course, and then we do have some Polymer 80s floating around from back when Polymer 80 was around. Not yet drumming, but we might do that in the future. Basically, we have to buy another machine so we can do additional aftermarket work on people's stuff. Currently, our machines are all tied up in volume production. So if we were to stop production to work on one person's slide, we'd stop working on 30 slides. Oh, absolutely. I miss Polymer 82. Hey, FE Ordnance, what's going on? He's going through testing one of our 17 slides right now. Doing some range trips with it. Doing some competition. Gunhead, go to our website, stifflermanufacturing.com. I'll drop that in the chat there, but we also got it in the description, too. That said, we do use SCT manufacturing for the parts kit. You guys can find better parts kits out there. It's just a good introductory. It'll be fine for most shooters, but once you get some experience, you might need to upgrade. Which, of course, is why they're only like, 40 bones. Oh, yeah, Effie, I saw that. Thank you. Videos were awesome. Yep, you can see our full, oh my god, lengthy warranty on our website. Very lengthy. There we go. Let's print this out. We're going to get this slide shipped off to Indiana. I'm going to be really disappointed adding California to the shipping restriction part. Because right now it's just American Samoa, which is a U.S. territory, for those of you that don't know. And the only reason we don't ship there is because American Samoa has made pistols illegal. I mean, they did that back in the 90s, but still. I'm going to say Ject 1, Ject 1X. We have not tested them on Lone Wolf frames, but some of our customers have, and they've had no problems. These are Gen 3, 19, and 17 clones, so if your frame is designed for Gen 3, 19, and 17, you're going to be fine. Oh, thank you, FE Ordnance. Yeah, the only one that we might try and find like a higher quality one down the road is the parts kit and the barrel. It's the slides, in our opinion, are absolutely awesome. The parts kits that we've acquired, they work. There's better parts kits out there, though. So, like, once you get yourself some experience on building and modding, you know, you might want to upgrade. You might want to go something more match grade, you know? And we'll look around. We'll see, you know, what distributors and vendors and what they have to offer, and see if we can come to a good agreement. But right now, you know, they work. SCT does have a good frame. We like them. And maybe this is just a recent, you know, kerfuffle through some quality control. But that said, it is a $40 parts kit. It is not top of the line. You know, you do get what you pay for to a degree, you know? Which is weird coming from me, because then I talk up on the slides about us being 17.4, and we have competitors who have the same thing. Like, for example, this SM19 Hellet, I've seen competitors with something similar that are selling this slide for $300-$400, and we are, you know, dropping this for $155. Hey, Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, how you doing? Oh, I'd appreciate it, FE Ordnance. Let us know what you find out. I love a good, honest review, because it helps us improve stuff. Which is why, of course, we base the slides on OEM. We're within 5,000ths on the measurements for OEM. And of course, if you're considering getting a Viper, which is very popular, because of the weight reduction in the windows, you might need to get a lighter recoil spring. It's, you know, depends on your build. Oh, so that one's fun. Basically, Glock has copyrighted all of the letter and numerics for what we recognize as their slides. So if you say G19, you know someone's talking about a Glock 19. You say, you know, G17, you know they're talking about a Glock 17. So we can say things like, this is compatible with or works with G19, but we can't call our product G19. So SM, Stiffler Manufacturing, 19, you know it's compatible and works with the 19. And if you advertise your stuff as G19, G17, G26, eventually a Glock attorney will find you and they will tell you to knock it off. Or else. So, yep, that's why a lot of companies do stuff like that. Like, if you go buy something from LFA, it's an LFA 19. Or LF 19, whichever. If you go buy something from Graygo's Precisions, it's GGP 19, 17, whatever. Stiff all the time, Fluffy Bunny. Stiff all the time. All right, let's print this one out. You know, the funny thing is I'm going to package all of these up, and I'll get them all ready for tomorrow. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, and someone's going to have bought something. And then I'm just going to have to wrap that up, too. It never works out timing, because I can swing by the post office right before I go off to the shop or right before I go do the side work that I do and drop it off at the post office. But as soon as I'm done, boom, orders another slide. They're like, hey, can you ship it today? And it's like, no. You're getting it shipped tomorrow if we have it in stock. If not, you're waiting 1 to 2 weeks so we can mill this big old thing. Oh yeah, definitely worse problems to have. Okay, there we go. Got my shipping label all ready. Oh yeah, definitely got our Glocktober sale going on. 15% to 20% off all of our strip slides. And if you don't take advantage of that, I mean, we appreciate that you're willing to spend full price. But, you know, maybe get yourself a parts kit or some ammo. Can I pack-a-punch these? If I knew what that was, Toxic. Yeah, go ahead, Gonzo. By all means. If you want to pull some of the sale images off our Facebook, go ahead. There we go. What? What are you looking at me, dog? I don't have snacks for you. Oh, there we go. What? You just want attention, don't you? You just want attention. Oh, what? Now you're afraid of the camera? Oh, but for those of you just joining us, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. What we were trying, as per the title, we're talking about California Senate Bill 704 and Assembly Bill 1127. So for those of you with friends in California, you're about to find out that they're requiring background checks starting in January for these barrels. For detachable pistol barrels for semi-autos. The most common gun part pretty much out there. Californians will have to get a background check for this. And then coming July 2026, future Glock sales will no longer be allowed. FFL doesn't matter. They will not be able to buy Glocks in California. Now, they're not saying you can't possess them. They're not saying you can't still own them. They're saying you cannot buy future Glocks come July 2026. How does this affect us? The future Glocks doesn't affect us. We only sell slides. These are not firearms. They're not serialized. There's, you know, it's not a gun. But the barrel one does affect us. So we can't ship barrels. We can't ship complete slides to California. Now we may be able to ship them to FFLs. But currently we don't have any California FFLs buying from us. So come January, we have a decision to make. Do we just restrict the barrel related items, or do we cut California off? And we're not entirely sure which way we're leaning on that. And I do feel bad for Californians, but they did it to themselves by electing the person they elected. And it's... Sorry, guys, you can't have Glocks or pretty much anything with a cruciform, is what they're looking to ban. Or have banned, rather. So, if you are from California, please feel free to chime in. Let us know how you're going to adapt to this situation. I know a few people that are just going to buy as much as they can beforehand, before there's any ban in effect. Matthew Kellen, what's going on, man? Yes, we did. This is an H series Cerakote. This one here is called Bright Purple. This one here, we use stencils from Tactical Penguin, and it's Hunter Orange and Graphite Black. Yeah, we have a dealer program. If you don't want to deal with MMC, you can deal with us directly. Thank you, Matthew. Greatly appreciated. This one here is our Shimmer Aluminum. Kind of gives it that silvery appearance. And this one here also with stencils from Tactical Penguin. You guys should check them out sometime. This here is Mil-Spec OD Green, Desert Sand, and Glock FD, all H series Cerakotes. But yeah, I mean, if someone doesn't want to order our slides through another distributor like MMC Armory, you can order them directly through us. Yeah, no problems there. And we do have dealership rates, and if you guys are looking for smaller rates, like say it's a small mom and pop gun shop, we don't have to sell 100. If you just wanted like 10, we could do that. And they could be different colors, and that's fine. Maybe you want some that are black and some that are green and some that are gold and different options. Oh, now the dog's all up in arms. Oh, let's go check this real quick. Feel free to keep asking. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Dog heard somebody out front. So, nothing serious. Yes, we do. We do mill these out of 17-4 stainless steel. This is one of the bars we use. Oh, thank you so much, Matthew. Yep, we have some CNC machines, and we mill the bars straight into slides just like this. We do all of the Cerakote work ourselves. So they get milled down, they get deburred, sanded, cleaned, Cerakoted, cured, QC'd, and shipped. Well, boxed and shipped. Rebel Spirit, what's going on, man? Yes, yes they do, because we might not sell to them after December. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we will just restrict the barrels. Maybe we restrict the whole state. It's not something we're enjoying talking about, but California is a very litigious state, so, you know, got to protect the business. And we're going to get a lot of messages. I can already see it. But come on, man. Can't you just ship this to me? Come on, man. Can't you just vote better politicians? Also, I mean, that seriously sounds like an ATF trap right there. Can't you just ship this to me, bro? We're cool. No, you're not cool. You're not my bro. We didn't serve together. We didn't grow up together. We're not cool. Oh, I get a lot of comments. We get some like that from other countries, too. Hey, man, can you just ship it? No. I'm not your pal, friend. I'm not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. Oh, come out of there, you. There we go. Drawer's being a real pain in the ass. That was a funny episode. Okay, cool. We got this slide. We're getting this ready. What's the penalty for shipping to them to Cali? I'm assuming huge, but you know what? Let me look it up. See, this is what Google's for. It's not just for cat memes and porn. We can look up laws. It's also for looking at stiff things. Let's see here. Depends on which version or subject. Well, that's not helpful. First violation is a misdemeanor, punishable by 1 year in jail and a fine of $1,000. And for a business, I'm assuming they'd come after us monetarily. Any subsequent violations could be potentially considered a felony with imprisonment of 2, 3, 4 years in state prison or county jail for 1 year, or a fine of up to $2,000 or both. Huh. We try to have a little bit of fun here. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal says 10 years and a 200... Holy crap. Oh, thank you, Gonzo. Greatly appreciate it. Oh, that is ridiculous. As a felony, 16 months, 2 years, 3 years in some cases, $2,000 fine. Could they strip license? Oh, we don't have a license. Oh, we have a, you know... We have a business license. We're an LLC. But I don't know, man. Because there's nothing about this that's illegal federally. So I'm not sure. They might just do to us what they did to Polymer 80, you know? Just waste their time in court until they run out of money. Maybe we could get some help from like a big 2A organization. But, I mean, Polymer 80 didn't get the help they needed. And they just got fined into freaking non-existence. Oh, no worries, yeah. And for those of you not aware, you do not need to NFFL for this. This is just a part. The gun part is considered the frame, or in the case of some of the newer ones that have fire control units, the fire control unit is the firearm. And that's what has to be serialized. So, yep. In most cases, the gun is the frame, with the exception to the fire control unit. SCCY? You know, I haven't heard about them in a while. They went out, didn't they? Shut down operations due to significant financial and legal troubles, including unpaid taxes and debt, leading to the seizure of its assets and pending public auction of its equipment in Daytona Beach, Florida. They are unable to provide support or honor warranties for existing firearms at this time and have ceased all manufacturing and business operation. Asset seizure began in March 2025. Public auction slated for June 2025. Damn. And that, you know, that's the fate of a lot of 2A related businesses is people stop buying, they start going under. To a degree, R&J. I mean, for example, like this here, you know, we're only dropping 155 for it, right? And our competitors are doing the same similar style, same metal, you know, 300-400. So, I mean, you do get what you pay for, but sometimes people are writing a name. Like Colt. I like Colt. I do. Great guns. But they are writing the crap out of their name. Like, Colt has great firearms, but man, are they writing their name into the grave. They should do some newer stuff. I mean, Ruger does it too much, and Glock does the opposite too much. Where, like, Ruger comes out with a new gun every few years, and then Glock is just like, it's the same gun, but we're changing, you know, this. Changing this little thing. And Colt should probably try to find a nice middle ground between the two. And yes, we have stability and history with our classic firearms, but also, hey, here's something new. Hey, 10X Shooters, what's going on, man? Why is Glock 45 chambered in 9mm and not 45 ACP? I get what you mean, but if I remember this right, and I could be wrong, if I remember this right, Glock attributes numbers to their successfully tested models. True, you do have to make your mark as well. Daniel Defense, yeah. You guys have the best prices on. Thank you. But in my opinion, with any given handgun, for the most part, if it's not trying to be anything top tier, I mean, we're definitely topper tier. I wouldn't say we're the best, but we're topper, middle tier. We're middle tier. Room to improve. But we're definitely not bottom. I'll tell you that. Oh, God, no. Glock numbers are patents, not calibers. Hey, the arms, man, I knew it was something. Thank you. Much appreciated. Upper mid. Thank you, Fluffy. I think if we find a better parts kit, that'll be the thing. We might even keep the same parts kits. It's just a budget-friendly option for people. We might do, but again, we have to keep growing. Like the funds got to come from somewhere. We can't just pull them out of our butt. That'd be cool. Oh, thank you. Plus, we're doing the 15 to 20% off this month, too. And I think we're doing a great job with the Cerakote. You know, are other people doing some better stuff out there? Oh, absolutely. There's some really talented businesses out there doing some crazy stenciling designs. And Really cool stuff. But I think we got a good run of it where we're at, and we're going to keep improving. With DN, could you expand on that a little bit? The Army has ruined years of acronyms for me, so I'm not always tracking which acronyms people are talking about. Tiger stripes for the 43 or 48. Corey, we don't have any 43s yet. We do plan to work on one after we finish our 26. So right now we just have them for the 19 and the 17, and we're working on finishing our 26. And once we complete that 26, we'll start to work on the 43. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Safiri has great stuff, and they have name staying power. They are a name in the industry, and they make good quality products. But 800, it's the same thing for like how I view the Pit Viper and the Sand Viper, right? I like it. I like the look of it. I think it probably runs amazing. I don't know. I've never shot one, but I'm not going to drop $5,000 to $9,000 on a pistol. I'm just not. I can't. Maybe if I had all kinds of lottery money. And even then, I'm not sure I could justify it. Like, just, if you think about it something real quick, it's like, am I buying this because it's expensive and I have money? Or am I buying it because it's a good purchase? That too, 10X, that too. You've sold your G19 4 times already and you still got it? I say that not owning one, only going off what I hear and can see with the attitude of the owner. Fair enough, Lenny. Fair enough. I mean, if something's wrong with your stuff, we'll try and fix it. We'll try and troubleshoot it with you. And if there's something wrong, we'll fix it, you know. That said, some things really are on the owner and the builder. Like, I can only fix things so much. I can't make you a better shooter. I can't make you a better builder. Some things you do got to figure out on your own. Hey, thank you so much, Corey. Ruined your 43 slide, learning to use a fiber laser, want one of those tiger stripes to replace it. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, we do. StifflerManufacturing.com. Link's in the description, but I'll drop the link again in the chat. There we go. Russian? Is that Russian? I don't know. Let's see what Andre says. If my translate works correctly. We'll see. Yep, Russian. These are pistols. Yes, they are pistol slides. Thanks for popping in. I want a staccato, but with John Wick. Yeah, exactly. Like, I want one. I want all kinds of stuff. It's just, some of it's too expensive. Some of it's outrageously expensive. Dude, I don't know how you make profit at such low pricing. Margin can't be at 50%. No, we do okay. I mean, we could use more sales and we could use some more contracts. Like, we definitely could use some more individual sales, and we could definitely use another distributor, or if not a distributor, just like a host of gun shops that want to buy, you know, between 2 and 10 slides a month. That would be freaking on point right there. Hey, low key, thank you. I hope you use the discount code. J-Dog, what's going on, man? My cousin with the FFL tells me he cuts his prices to sell to more people rather than selling fewer people at high cost. Yeah, then that is definitely a strategy I'd say we're probably doing a bit. We're not the cheapest, but we are nowhere near the most expensive. And we do have a price point we have to meet, just like any business. So everything, you know, there's a whole like math setup for why things are certain prices and why we have to sell at a certain cost, and that's to pay for the employees, because we have employees. That's to pay rent for the shop. That's to pay for the electric bill. That's to pay for new tools and mills for the shop. To pay for bars of steel. These damn things, not cheap. But with what we're selling at, if we can maintain a certain number, Yeah, we do what we do all right. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Fluffy. I mean, I want one, but nah. Plus, I mean, then there's the whole, you know, dealer rate. So, like, for example, your cousin has an FFL. We would sell to him at dealer rates. So he could get our slides cheaper than retail, and he could turn around and make some money on them. We make some money on them, and, you know, it's all good. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and this slide, 17.4, it'll last. I'm sure some of you guys have seen YouTube videos and stuff with people who've had slides from whatever company, and they've gotten cracks or chips in them, or, I mean, who hasn't seen, you know, a rock slide, you know, just totally cracked down it. And that's because they're using subpar steel for the job. That's not to say that, like, OEM products haven't broken either, right? Like, I had a Glock OEM recoil spring a month or two ago. Broke on me after a third magazine. Stuff happens. But by and large, good quality steel is going to cost you a little bit more. And where you're seeing like Grey Ghost Precision, Zev, Zafiri, they all use 17.4. So do we. But some of them definitely have that name recognition, and they are upcharging a bit. I mean, I don't blame them. Once you're an industry name, I don't blame them for upping the price, because you've got to pay for things. You've got to pay for more machinery. You've got to pay for more parts, more employees. So it's understandable why some prices are the way they are. So we are a little small. We're able to keep things a little small. Only gun I'm kind of itching for is something like a Beretta PX4 Storm. You know, I never shot the PX. Never shot it. Wanted to. Never knew anyone that had one, and I couldn't at the time justify buying it. I appreciate that. I appreciate Armsman a lot, and I definitely understand what he means about moving. We have one gun store that we've sold to, and we reach out to them from time to time, and you know, like, hey, have they sold? Like, you know, how's business? And they're like, well, no, they haven't. And we went and checked it out, and they kept all of. Here we go. So we keep, or when we ship our slides, we ship them in plastic boxes, right? And so the slide also gets wrapped in bubble wrap. So imagine this, if you will, sitting on a gun counter like this, wrapped in bubble wrap, without a sign telling you what it is. Do you think customers are going to buy it? Absolutely not. You need to display it. You need to put it out on the counter. And we've mentioned that, and I guess they still haven't changed it. And it's like, well, I mean, I'm happy you bought it from us, but if you're not selling, then, you know, you're not going to buy more from us. So please improve your display. Zevit's inferior, overpriced, yeah. I think so. I mean, I think they have a good product. I think it runs great. It's hard to justify the price. And I know people do because, you know, it's the name. Absolutely, Rebel Spirit. Absolutely. Because, I mean, how's someone's going to see the Tiger Stripe if you've got it in a box? How's somebody going to walk by and see the metallic flakes in that gold Cerakote if it's in the box? You know? How are they going to see the distressed Space Worn if it's in the box? You got to display it. Oh, we might, yeah. If I knew the name of the thing, I might remember it. We've talked to so many businesses, though. Sometimes, like, once a week, I will sit down at the computer and I will just pick a city at random and look up what gun shops they have and then just cold call or email. I prefer email. That way, you know, we always have something we can fall back on, because you forget conversations. You forget what people said. And emails are great because it's like, oh, hey, so that's what I told them. Okay, great. But we found out quite a few businesses just don't answer their emails. So that's the unfortunate part of that. The thing about higher end slides is the whole part about it being higher end is it needs to be a design that is difficult to do. So that maybe they have like a 5th axis CNC or something like that. Or it needs to be better quality steel so that it lasts longer. Or it needs to involve the coating or a combination of all three. And that can justify the cost because other companies just can't make it because they don't have a CNC that's capable of it, or they're working with a metal that isn't capable of taking certain designs. Like, for example, whatever metal rock slide is or was using can't handle this. 416, by and large, from what we've seen so far, I could be wrong, can't handle this. This would cause cracks. But 17.4 can handle it, and it does handle it. But that said, 800 for a strip slide is freaking insanity. Trump slump, yes, that's something I've seen going around. So for those of you who don't know, gun sales and accessories and parts and whatever always go down when there's pro-gun people in office. But when there's anti-gun people in office, like what you're seeing with California right now, they're scrambling to buy things, then sales are through the frickin' roof. So, yeah, people don't have a fire or need right now to go and buy stuff. But the moment someone talks about a ban, boom, they'll start spending money like crazy. Yes, 10x, people will spend 400 just for the name, even if the slide, the slide could be worth 150, 200, but they will spend an additional 400 on top of that because of the name. Which, I mean, don't be wrong, I'd love to have our name all over the place. And if we expanded the shop and got more employees, we would have to raise the rates a little bit. But we've always been able to justify our rates. Anytime they've gone up, it was because the cost of steel, or it's because end mills, or it's because, this, that, and the other thing. We were able to explain, and our customers fully understood why. We had to expand the shop and hire more employees, and the cost of steel went up. And customers understand. We do lives like this where we can talk with you guys and explain, why did this happen? Or, hey, this is what we're thinking. And I think it's a little more personable. I think it's, and of course, every company has a marketing team. They have a social media team that pushes things. We do too. Obviously, I'm here running this. But doing it live like this, you guys get to ask questions, we get to interact with each other, and I get to pick your brain and you get to pick mine a little bit. Zev kills me with their prices. Got an OZ9 years ago and still can't get that damn thing running right. Ouch. Have you ever actually taken like a pair of calipers and stuff and like measured it against Glock OEM? See if maybe they had an issue? Oh, thank you, Armsman. That I can't, buddy. That I can't. I would advise you to go talk to an attorney to have your felony status, expunged, less restricted, maybe to get your rights restored. But, there's some steps you got to follow for that. They don't have my beard, though. This is true. Oh, this is so true. There it is. Ha! They don't have my beard. They're so jealous of it. Its glory. Of its curliness and sheen. Oh, let's see here. Hey, Bill Poole, what's going on, man? The tolerance on it are tight, a lot tighter than most. That's partially what I like about it, but if it doesn't run, what's the use? Yeah, and I'd say our tolerances are pretty tight. Some people have had concerns, and I understand their concerns, because they went with some other companies that did it wrong. For example, are Trijicon RMR flat optic cuts. Yeah, there are no boss lugs, posts, whatever. But the cut is tight. And so we're not very concerned about the shear force exerted on the screws that I know other people have been concerned about. Because when we put the optic in without the screws on, it doesn't shake. It doesn't move. It doesn't rattle. The cut's tight. It fits. Not particularly. I actually used to work a little bit in the legal field, and I'd say quite a vast majority of felons deserve the fate they have. There's some that did not, but a vast majority of you chose your own shit, and you deserve what happened to you. So fix it. King Killer, what's going on, man? I mean, you're an adult. Fix your fucking problems. Yes, they are. 19s and 17s. Well, this one specifically is a 17. Robert, no, we don't. We do Cerakote coating, but we haven't done anything with nitride yet. We do source some barrels that have nitride coating. King Killer, StifflerManufacturing.com. I'll drop the link in the chat for you. Cool name, man. Fuck King George. Oh, yeah, I should get a few more. I should swap this out for another Space Worn sometime so you guys can see the difference. So the process of the distressing, for those of you not aware, changes with every single slide we do it to. So, for example, this one got a nice wear here, and it has some, of course, on the grip serrations. But others have gotten wear patterns along the side, whereas this one really didn't get any wear patterns on the side. So every single distressed slide like this comes out different. There's no two that look exactly the same. Which is pretty awesome. Possibly a 34 in the future. Possibly. After the 43, I don't know what we're going to make. We might just focus on improving what we do have and then doing Gen 5. Or we might also just start another model. Not sure. No, we don't do anything with AR. It's just the aftermarket Glock-style slides for the Gen 3 19 and 17. We're finishing up the 26 right now, hopefully in time when everyone starts getting their GS 26X frames. And then after that, we'll be working on the 43. M81 distress, that might work. That might work. We got the mil-spec OD green here, and that might look good distress. We've tried it with a few different colors, and black so far seems to do it the best. Actually, King Killer, interesting enough, you can fit Gen 3 slides on your 19X. Look up a few videos, but most of the time you're just changing out the back plate. But you can fit Gen 3s on the X, you can fit it on the Gen 4 and the Gen 5, and there's just a few parts you got to change around. Yeah, seriously. When Glock did a lot of their innovations, most of it was in the frame, not actually the slides themselves. So, okay, so say you're taking a Gen 3 and you're putting it on a Gen 4, you might need to get an adapter for your recoil spring assembly because they changed that. But other than that, there's really no difference. And then for the Gen 5s, same thing. They just changed the back plate. It's a little different, so you swap out the back plate. You maybe get a recoil spring adapter. And then because the Gen 5s are ambi, you might need to change your slide stopper release. You might not. Some people don't. Some people say it works great with it. Yeah, like my total experience, just like, I can't. I'm going to have to put him in timeout. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's in timeout, everybody. I feel so bad. He pops in every once in a while. It's fine. I don't mind the comments and whatever. People can say whatever they want to say. But the one thing that I do not like is, and I will openly admit, I do not know everything about firearms. No, he's not, RNJ. What I do not like is all the falsification of firearms. I don't know everything about firearms. I have no problem admitting that. I have 10 years of military experience. I have shot in competitions. I was a 2A advocate through the NRA, the GOA, and the FPC before I got involved in Stiffler Manufacturing. But what I don't like is a lot of the falsehoods that people spread about firearms, because we already have so many politicians and anti-gunners that do that shit for us. We don't need the average citizen adding on to that, because it really is a disservice to the Second Amendment, of which I believe we all have a duty to be teachers, educators about it, have a custodianship to it, if you will. Because there's a lot of people out there who did not grow up with family or friends to teach them this stuff. And post-COVID, there's a lot of new people learning about guns, and they get a lot of the stuff they learn from the internet. And there's way too many negative communities and trolls that just ruin the perception of what people are learning. Oh yeah, the history on Glock's crazy. Also the whole thing with horses. A lot of companies have some weird history. I have a 3-way FRT on my ARP. Amazing changes the buffer system out, so less recoil. Nice. My thing on FRTs is that a lot of people don't put the training in. And I say this with experience as a machine gunner. So I used to run around with a 249. And it's that people don't put the training in. It's a fun range toy, but it could be a very useful tool if people put the training in. The problem is the training is going to be expensive because you're going to be dumping rounds. But if you do it and you train and you become proficient with it, you could absolutely utilize it as an effective tool. But most of what I see is just like, you know, basically hood rat content. Hey, look at this. And hillbilly content. Hey, look at this. And it's like, no, man, come on, get some good training in. Like, get proficient with it. It's not just a toy, it's a tool. Get good with it. Oh, yeah. We debated getting a few because we've seen some cool videos. There's quite a few videos out there of people with the Viper utilizing FRTs and G-flexes and binaries and whatever else. And, you know, they get a extended 40 mag and gone, just sprays away. Have a good one, King Killer. There kind of is a system for that, Corey. I don't know if they make them for the public, but the Army has access to them. They're called EST 2000s. And it utilizes compressed air to simulate recoil and shots, and it uses a laser to hit targets. But it is a computer-based marksmanship training simulator. And I'm sure maybe the Marine Corps and the other branches use it too, but the Army uses it. And it's meant for training without the expenditure of ammunition. And you can do it in a kind of a classroom environment. They have a whole thing set up where you have sandbags and everything, and you can actually zero it in. And it comes with different scenarios too, where you have to react to contact, or maybe you're shooting at night. And it has a lot of options. I just don't know if there's a civilian equivalent out there that people can utilize. It would be really cool if there was. We might do a 365 in the future if we're able to. We wanted to do something with the 320, but even prior to the ICE memo that came out where they all switched to Glock, we started having doubts with what we were seeing through social media and through news and everything. We had decided just to not do it. And then as the situation evolved, it ended up being a smart decision because a lot of people's trust in it kind of wavered. So even if we had released it, sales probably wouldn't have done very well. So we're weathering it and seeing, hey, should we do a 365 in the future or something else? We might. You know, after we're done with the 43, it's a possibility. But it depends on what the market wants, what our distributors and vendors want, and then what individual customers, of course, come to us saying that they want. Yeah, and I have a 320. I have the M17 320. Got it as a post-deployment kind of unit gun. We've got our logo and everything engraved on it, which is cool. But now it's mostly just a conversation piece, and I have shot it, and I was never really intending to carry it. It was mostly just a memento, but I definitely don't leave it loaded. The Mantis on a BB gun is the closest I've seen. Oh, I wish we might get a laser engraver someday too, because as you've noticed, a lot of our all of our slides are sanitized. There's no name, there's no logo, they're really clean. So what we're thinking about doing is getting a laser engraver, and on the optic cut itself, do the company name, maybe the little logo, and then what model it is. So this being a zoom, we could put, you know, SM 19.3 zoom for 19 Gen 3 zoom slide. And then it still has that cool sanitized look where nothing's on it. But then when someone, you know, pops off the RMR cover or pops off their optic, they can see, oh, hey, yeah, this is one of Stiffler's slides. Because we actually still do have an issue where some vendors have purchased our slides and they have then relabeled them. Which, I mean, hey, as long as we're getting paid, it's really not that big a deal. But some people then get online and, you know, people love to have some brand loyalty. They're like, that's not, you know, who the hell is Stiffler? I bought this slide from this company. And, you know, there's no logos on it, so clearly I'm right. Yeah, it's been something we've dealt with in the past. And we've gotten some angry emails and messages before. Like, you guys are copying. And it's like, no, man, here, let me turn my live on and I'll show you the CNC machine we're making it out of right now. The oopsie soundbite. Oh, that'd be fun. So yeah, we'll probably do that eventually. Especially once we start doing Gen 5s at some point. We'll have to differentiate between the 3s and the 5s. So we'll probably put, you know, 19.3, 19.5 on the slide. Just right where the RMR is. Oop, tipped you over. And for some of you who've been asking, we finally did get merch. So we do have shirts and patches and stuff. You can get yourself a Stiffler patch on the website. Get yourself a shirt with the Stiffler logo and all that. So we finally got a little bit of merch. We are planning to go to SHOT Show in Las Vegas in January. And that's when we'll hit 3 years as a company. Because we started our business in January 2023. And so SHOT Show 2026 will be 3 years in Las Vegas, and hopefully hitting up a lot of businesses, meeting and greeting, shaking hands, you know. We did get to go this year, back in January 2025, and a lot of people met, you know, the reps from Cerakote, met reps from Glock, all kinds of companies, Davidson Defense, MMC Armory, Delta Team Tactical, freaking all kinds of businesses, so many. As well as some influencers and, you know, social media content creators. We got to see, who else did we see? John Crump News, Got Gamage, and a few other guys. Jack of all trades. So guys who do like their 2A social media content, they actually got to go to SHOT Show and do some stuff. So we got to see them, talk with them for a bit. So it's closed to the public for the most part, but if you have a 2A content channel, you can go as media. And it is a big meet and greet. A lot of people, businesses meet each other, talk to each other, put a face to a name. So it kind of is a glorified meet and greet. It's not quite like GunCon where regular people can go. So yeah, if you have a business or if you have a 2A content channel, definitely go, because that's where you can meet and greet and talk to businesses and build contacts. But if you're a regular person, GunCon or something like that, maybe GOA goals or something like that, where just regular people, well, you have to be a member for a GOA to attend goals, I think. But either way, it's not like a membership's a lot of money. Plus, I mean, then you're supporting, you know, GOA, which is doing a lot of lawsuits in favor of the Second Amendment. I mean, I'm a life member of GOA, also a member of FPC, Arizona Citizens Defense League. I was a Golden Eagle with the NRA, but the NRA was not doing enough. So, stopped dealing with them a few years back. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And if you get to go, the problem is if you want a booth, it's going to cost a lot of money. So I think what we're doing is we're sharing a booth with another company, and we'll both be at the same booth because, like, I think Glock spent like freaking 50 grand on their booth just to go, and it's there for a week just for businesses to talk to Glock. Let's see, $43 per square foot and $950 per surcharge. New exhibitors also have to pay a mandatory $1,900 new exhibitor package. So if you're a new business going to SHOT Show, you have to pay $900 just because you're new and you've never been there before. Then there's a supplier showcase booth, which has a fee of around $5,000. So you could have all of that. If you got your supplier showcase, new booth, the $43 per square foot, and then the $950 per corner surcharge, yeah, you're spending some money. You know, you're looking at like a 200 square foot space, it's $8,600. Freaking, yeah, it ain't cheap. And that's just money you spent just to set up the booth, not the money you spent to travel there, to take all your stuff there, to bring employees along. Because if you're just one person, you're never going to leave the booth. You've got to have somebody walking around. SHOT Show 26 is going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. I think it's in the same Las Vegas every year at the Venetian. Live Life. You stopped with the NRA a while back, but it looks like they're starting to shift in the right direction. We'll see. We'll see. I got a stupid medal from them years ago. Two of them, actually, because, what do they call it? The NRA National Patriot Medal, because I supported the NRA and did a bunch of bullshit. It just wasn't worth it. They weren't doing the fight. It was all about generating income. And it's like, that's why I started going with GOA and FPC and others, because they were doing more. Oh yeah, Orange, yeah, definitely. It's not cheap. So if you can find another business to go in on, or if all you're doing is attending and you're not doing a booth, attending is a lot cheaper. Let's see, 45 to 195. A SHOT Show, it's 25 to 200, depending on registration time and your attendee type. But just to get a badge to attend, 25 to 200. Media members can sometimes receive free admission. So if you have, a social media account where your stuff is gun content, you might get to attend for free. There's law enforcement groups there. It's like $45 for them. Yeah, if you can find a business to attach onto where they can share a booth, because that's kind of what we're doing. We're going to share a booth with somebody. Make it cheaper. But then there's the hotel fees. So hotels aren't cheap. And then we're going to drive up there. So other people fly in. So that's another cost to add to it. Then you've got your food budget, of course, because you're going to be there for like almost a week. So... Oh, and don't lose your badge, because to get a new badge is like $200. So, yeah, definitely keep that badge on you. But yeah, SHOT Show is businesses, government entities, and then like media. So yeah, regular people don't really attend. Occasionally commercial buyers that deal in military and law enforcement stuff will show up too. So you can't really show up and be like, oh, I want to buy a gun. It's mostly for businesses. And it's just because you get to meet and greet a lot, but you can't go alone. You've got to have somebody swapping out with your booth. If you are doing a booth, you need to have somebody swapping out with your booth so somebody can go to your booth and ask questions, but so you can also go out and talk to people. Hand out business cards and whatever. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, it's good for businesses if you can attend. And it's good to just go out and meet and greet and talk to people and exchange numbers, and yeah, that's primarily what it's for. Oh, let me go grab these so I can get this package. Sometimes when I'm on doing these lives, you'll hear me in the background, and all I'm doing is just wrapping packages, getting slides shipped out. Hey, Rudy Herrera, what's going on, man? Yeah, hit us up at stifflermanufacturing.com. We're even running a sale this month on our strip slides. I can drop the link for you in the chat, too. There you go. Yes, we do have a military discount. Military discount is 10% off all products all year long. Just message us and we'll get you the discount code. But this month, if all you're doing is getting a strip slide, our strip slides, because it's Glocktober, are 15 to 20% off. So, use whichever discount code is going to get you the better deal. But when we're not doing a sale like Glocktober, the military discount is every day of the year. Nothing for SIG. All we have right now is Glock 19 style slides and 17 for the Gen 3. We are working on finishing our 26. And after that, we're going to start to work on the 43. So, this is one of our 19s that we have here. Ported barrel, front grip serrations, made out of 17-4 stainless steel, coated in Cerakote. Here's the 17 here, just a base model. Front grip serrations, nothing too fancy with it. But they all come with a Trijicon RMR flat optic cut, so you can put an optic on there like a Hollow Sun or a Gideon Omega or a Siley Optics. Christopher Lewis, what's going on? Where's that package? I just had it. Huh. What did I do with it? Hey, Dan, on which particular one? Because it changes based on which model it is. So, we're looking at, say, a Zoom slide, just regular color. Oh, we did add the Coyote Tans. Hell yeah. It's going to be 165, but really? Huh. Sorry, scrolling through something. I didn't realize we had added the Coyote Tan color, so that's awesome. Okay, let's pop through here on the zooms. So for zooms, it ranges, from 165 to 175 for MSRP. But our prices, we're running at 145 to 285, depending on if it's a strip slide or a complete slide, which model and which color scheme. And then this month, we're doing 15 to 20% off because it's Glocktober on all of our strip slides. So our most expensive slide is going to be the Viper. And then our cheapest slide is going to be the Zoom. And mostly the price difference is just because of how hard is it to make. The Zoom has less features. The Viper has a bit more we have to do to it. Same thing with the Turbo. Less features than the Viper, but there's still a bit more we have to do to it. So yeah, for 19, if you're just looking for a base model, this 17 is 155. The 19 version of it is 145. If you were going to get something complete, that's where you get into 285. This Tiger Stripe camo one here, for example, just because it takes extra work doing the stenciling, is 165. Right on R&J Media. Yeah, if he ever wants to do, dealership pricing, just have him reach on out to us. And, yeah, We can do dealer rates for them, even if it's just small orders. You know, it doesn't have to be 100 slides or something. It could be like 5 slides, 10 slides, if he wants different colors and whatever. Yeah, we can talk that out. I like supplying, you know, smaller businesses just like us, because from when I've talked to a few, they said they couldn't get the rates they wanted because the businesses the distributors they were ordering through wanted them to buy like 500 units. And a small mom and pop gun shop isn't going to buy 500 units. Oh, thank you. This specific Viper is $175 for this Viper. And this one we've shot, of course. Where did I put that package? It's going off to Indiana. Well, this is insane. Let's see, I've got these. Those are getting shipped out. These are already good. Ah, there it is, right in front of me. I'm blind. There it is, right in front of me. I've got too much stuff on my work desk. Ah, there we go. Do you have to get an LLC in order to get dealer prices? No, because you don't need an LLC to sell or buy these. Or sorry, LLC. Sorry, I was thinking FFL. Do you have to have an LLC to get dealership pricing? Yes, you do need a business license. For social media stuff, maybe not, Rebel Spirit. Reach out to us. Maybe not. Because it's part of it's a tax thing, that you don't have to pay taxes if you're selling from business to business, because it goes off to the final person. So reach out to us with the specifics, and I'll be able to get you a more specific answer. Oh yeah, Dan, and if you don't know how to swap a Gen 3 onto a 19X, there's quite a few videos on it. I recommend looking up RTT Guns and Gear. He has a good one on it. But you probably already know how to do it. Mike at Jericho. Yeah, Jericho Armament. Yeah, in Texas. Oh, yeah, dealing with the ATF and the local government. Yeah. Yeah, once he's ready, like, once he's done taking care of what he's got to take care of, yep, we got it for him. That's the other downside. Like, if you're a small gun shop, you can really get hemmed up with the ATF and local, or, you know, whatever local government you have, which is sad that it's in Texas, that it's given them that much trouble. But they will. They won't ever give a whole lot of trouble to a bigger company. But small mom and pop style gun shop, oh, absolutely. They'll fuck with you all the time. Yeah, I see some of his comments and posts and stuff. I always make sure to drop a like. Gotta support the 2A community together. Even if all it is just liking and commenting and watching other people's stuff. I pop into other people's lives all the time, chatting them up and helping them out. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous what they put businesses through. It's absolutely insane. I mean, we've had the ATF show up for us and stuff, and cops and whatever, and they just went, oh, you're a new business, okay, well, hello. We're the ATF. Dropping in to say hi, and they didn't even bring Jello. Upside for us, though, is all the stuff we're doing doesn't require an FFL. So, technically, actually, and if he had the funds, and I know with all the stuff he's been dealing with, he probably didn't have the funds, is you don't need an FFL to buy or sell this. You just need your business license for dealer pricing. Because there's nothing in here that requires a background check, up until California does its BS next year. Then they'll be the only state that has a background check for a barrel. Next, it'll be background checks for slides and parts kits, and because California is California. Because California is California. That's probably the most understandable non-explanation of an explanation ever. Why? Because California is California. It's messed up, but it's true. Well, why are they doing this? Because they're California. And everybody knows what you mean. Okay. Got that. Got that. Let's get this all wrapped up. Terrell, no, I'm in Arizona, so I'm allowed to have guns and freedom without sucking Newsom's butt. Do you feel very bad for Californians? I mean, to be fair, it's not like they really teach constitutional law in like junior high and high school anymore. They used to have administration of justice in high school, and they don't really teach that anymore. Why? Because why would they want the citizens to know their rights? Why would they want you guys thinking about stuff? Just do what the government tells you to do. And as a guy who used to work for the government and in the military, don't. Know your rights. I won't even visit California because of their gun. Yeah, man, I don't blame you. A while back, we ended up picking up a Ruger SR-45 because California had a law at the time that said, well, you can only have a 10-round magazine. And we're like, well, if we can only have a 10-round magazine, might as well get an SR-45. So, we can have 10 rounds of 45 ACP, because why not? Oh, heck yeah. This went in there nice. Sweet. That is going to look so good. What state you think has the best gun laws? That's tough to pinpoint the best state, but... Basically anyone that has constitutional carry. For example, I know people always said Texas. Oh yeah, Texas, big on gun, free gun laws. Not until the open carry Texas movement happened. Texas actually wasn't very free on guns for a long time. Florida only until recently, because they used to have the whole you can't open carry unless you're fishing thing. And each one had quirks that were so weird. Let's see if we can find that out, though. Like, Arizona has constitutional carry, but there is still a few places that are slightly restricted. Some federal properties, national parks, and whatnot. But, for example, we don't require you to get a CCW. If you're 21 and you can open carry, then you can conceal carry. You don't need your CCW. But they still offer you the ability to get it, because what if you travel to another state? Let's see. Looks like we're looking at South Dakota is often cited as the state with the least restrictive regulations on firearms overall, along with Idaho and New Hampshire, Florida, Nevada, Arizona. So New Hampshire, Florida, South Dakota, Nevada, and Arizona are currently listed. Nevada cannot be part of that list after what they did to Polymer 80. Who's this according to? Let's see. New Hampshire is considered number 1. Florida is considered number 2 right now. Number 3 is South Dakota. Number 4 is Nevada. And number 5 is Arizona. As of 2021. Yeah, this can't be that current. I bet it's updated a little bit. Worst state in the country for guns is New York, followed by Hawaii, followed by California, New Jersey, and Oregon. Arkansas is not bad. Let's see where Arkansas lists on there. Arkansas. Wait, is AK? Is AK Arkansas or is AR Arkansas? Arkansas is 27th. Interesting. Interesting. Tennessee and the laws here are pretty decent. Where's Tennessee on the list? Tennessee is 6th best in the nation. Right on, Tennessee. At least according to, what is this? Freedom in the 50 states is the map for it. I'll drop that map for you guys. There we go. Alaska. Alaska is listed as 15th best in the country. And Texas is listed as 17th best. So the top 6, we've got New Hampshire, Florida, South Dakota, Nevada, Arizona, and where were we? Tennessee. Tennessee is the 6th. Okay. Interesting. Michigan is 7th. See, that's weird because Michigan just tried to pass a law, or at least debated a law about banning different gun colors. So, for example, like out of what we have on the table here, this shimmer aluminum is okay. This black slide here is okay. But this gold slide, the purple slide, the black and white slide, the orange and black slide are not okay. Camo is a little up in the air, last I checked. But basically they were trying to pass a law that stated that only traditional gun colors could be okay. Everything else would be banned. But it looks like that got shelved back in January. Oh, yeah. FRTs are legal in Arizona, last I checked. Okay, give me the answer. In 2023, Arizona passed a law limiting what private entities can do with... Nope, that's biometric stuff. Oh, that's facial recognition. No, that's not the FRT I want. It's a bit murky for Arizona. It's not illegal. There's nothing says that we can't have them. But it's listed as kind of a gray area because there's nothing affirming that it's legal either. Oh, thank you. Yep, this stencil we used for it to create the lightning effect comes from Tactical Penguin. And we're using a color called Arctic White and Graphite Black. We also have the lightning in different colors. Like if somebody wanted it, we also had a blue one, a purple one, gold, and then a shimmer aluminum one as well. Dust cover. Let's see. What's going on, man? Welcome to the live. Just chilling here, chatting people up, talking about California, which sucks. Let's see here. Whoa. Oh, that is sexy. Wow. Holy crap, that price tag. I'm not surprised there's so few of them, though. Wow. Guys, I'm going to show you this really cool rifle from World War II. Frickin' sweet. Less than 25 in North America. Wild. And I bet the rest of them all in Europe got destroyed. For those of you who don't know about this neat little historical fact about World War II, so obviously Germany was wrecking Britain, Europe's crap, right? And Britain was under severe threat. So Britain formed what they call the Home Guard. Think of it like a watered down version of America's National Guard. It's like a militia that they underfunded. So maybe something like a state defense force or a state militia that they really threw no money into, because the British Home Guard didn't have any guns. All the guns they had were sent off to the British Army and the Navy and whatever. So what did America do? American citizens donated their personal firearms to the British Home Guard. Shotguns, rifles, pistols. And what did Britain do at the end of World War II? They destroyed them all, with the exception of a few that some Americans had actually inscribed their address onto it so it could be mailed back. So, in multiple ways, America provided for Britain's defense, and, in typical European fashion, Britain spat at us. Hey, Michael, what's going on, man? But something else that was also really sad is that Britain had a cool gun. It's called the Webley revolver, chambered in .455. So it's another 45 caliber, just 45.5. And they destroyed the vast majority of them. So the only ones that exist were in private collectors' hands that got passed down and somehow escaped to the United States and a few other countries. Britain destroyed their World War II service revolvers. They have a thing about destroying guns. It's disgusting. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. I like that rifle. That's cool looking. Here we go. Let's pop this up so we can get you guys the info on it. World War II, German SS issued converted GW 98 8mm. Freaking 8mm Mauser, man. 1940s. Some of that's a little worn out, but still. Oh, I'm getting some focusing issues. That's just freaking cool. Where'd you find this, man? Local gun shop, or? That is freaking awesome. Oh yeah, and it's there on consignment. God, the price tag though. I mean, I don't blame the price tag. Something historical like that. Oh yeah. You know what I wish I had the kind of money for? Would be like to buy historical items and like put them in a museum, my own museum. I wouldn't give them to somebody else's museum. I might start a museum. Oop. This freaking mount. There we go. Go start a museum. Put a bunch of cool stuff in it. Stuff like that. That'd be the weirdest museum ever. But it'd be fun. Yeah, exactly. It'd be free for like kids. Kids could go to it for free, or very little, like $1. Adults gotta pay, but kids would be allowed to go to the museum for free. Be a lot of history stuff. That'd be awesome. That'd be something cool to do if I had that kind of money. That ain't gonna happen, but if I had it, Freaking sweet. Maybe I should reach out to them. No, if they're doing collector stuff, they probably don't have a desire for what we kind of have, but you never know. Oh, we were going through the chart, dust cover. I guess this is something released by Freedom in the 50 States about which states are best for gun ownership. New Hampshire up there is the best. Florida is second. South Dakota, Nevada, Arizona. Texas is 17th, and I know that's Houston. And a few of those anti-gun spots up there from all the people that moved from California. Those bastards. Then, of course, here's California at 48th, Oregon. Ugh. Look at that, though. Look at this discrepancy. Look at this fight right here along this border. Arizona, Nevada, and Idaho putting in the fight. And then there's those three disgusting states to the left of us. Just nasty. That's why GunCon and stuff like, you know, SHOT Show gets held in Las Vegas, Nevada every year. GunCon, or some version of it, should be held in Arizona every year, just as a middle finger to California. Oh, there we go. Getting this all, yeah, no, I put it on mute for a second. Had to have a quick conversation. Getting this all wrapped up and ready to ship off. Sending this off to Indiana. Big old box this time around. They ordered a few different slides. Get the Crappyfornians out of my state. Yeah, someone put up a billboard in Arizona that said, don't California my Arizona, and I thought that was hilarious when we drove by it. Best thing I ever did in California was carry a frickin' saw, and there was nothing they could do about it. Just walking through California with a fully automatic weapon. That's right. I mean, I was stuck in and around Death Valley at the time, so I mean, it wasn't that fun, but suck it, California. Don't California my Texas. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I don't blame Californians for leaving California. What I have an issue with is when they still talk about how great it was. It's like, there's a reason you left. Don't try to upsell us on it. You left. Move to China. Yeah, America, man. It's the only place that people will bitch about it but refuse to leave it. And you know what it is that they'd never like real hardship. Like, freaking travel the world a little bit and you'll watch people who are like legitimately suffering, and you have a whole new perspective on America. And as veterans, I believe we can, well, not all of us, there's a few of us that are twisted. I mean, we're all twisted, but not in this way. Is that we all want our citizenry to be armed. An armed America is a defended America. Do you build our own firearms? Yeah, occasionally. What we do here specifically for Stiffler Manufacturing is we mill these bars of steel into these slides. But yeah, we've made a few of our own, you know. Worked on some old polymer 80 frames. Occasionally, I would tell myself I am going to make a pipe shotgun someday, just because, you know, why not? Especially if there's a gun buyback, I will go to Home Depot and I will buy a bunch of crap and make a bunch of those pipe shotguns for like nothing, just to get all the gift cards. It confounds me as well, Armsman. Confounds me as well. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's a setting I have. Let me take a look in here. Nope, nothing on my end. Not sure. I'd play around with your settings, see what you can do with it. I know on some pages they have us listed as our ats, but I'm not quite sure. Also, welcome, Jericho. What's going on, man? Welcome to one of my lives. Do you make anything else besides slides? Nope, just the slides, because we don't require an FFL to make them. Come on, get in your home. Get in your home. There we go. Package fighting me. We do source barrels and parts kits, but we only make the slides. Yeah, just do some lives sometime. Once you get, well, actually, you can't do lives immediately. Make some videos. Once you get 50 subscribers, we'll pop out there and subscribe. And then you can start doing live videos and stuff. Get our Fragile sticker on there. Do you have any ported 365 macro slides? Afraid not. Currently, we only do the Generation 3 Glock 19 and Glock 17. But we'll do additional slides as we continue to grow as a business. We're currently working on finishing the 26 slide, and after that, we're probably going to work on the 43. Oh yeah, he was in here earlier. I'm doing one of my semi-long lives right now. Just chatting up, talking crap about California and their new bullshit law. We might have to stop selling to California. I don't know. We haven't 100% figured it out yet, but Californians did it to themselves, man. I don't know. There we go, and one package ready to go off to Indiana tomorrow. Quick little fix real quick. Looks like my phone's dying, so we'll plug that in. There we go. Oh, we sell to, we take pride in that because there's only one place in the United States we do not sell to currently, and that's American Samoa, the U.S. territory. And that's because they banned pistols back in the 90s. There's no point selling to anybody from there. So California will officially, if we decide, depends on how we decide how to handle this. But if we decide to handle just not shipping to them, then they will be the first place that we've actively decided not to ship to. Reaper, what's going on, man? Hey, you got it fixed. Right on. Hey, everybody go over to Jericho Armament real quick and give them a follow. They're trying to get up their gun store. And local losers and the ATF have been giving them a lot of trouble. Didn't they change the name of those? I liked the Samoa cookies. They're awesome. That and the Thin Mints. Samoa's and the Thin Mints, you got to stick them in the freezer. Not really, Terrell. I mean, we don't have an FFL, so we haven't really had to deal with them. So you can set up your YouTube channel with a bunch of links to your website, to your Facebook, to everything. So you can set your YouTube up with that so people can know how to find your store. Yeah, you got to freeze those Thin Mints. They're freaking awesome. I got to do an ASMR video where I just record this sound over and over again. Do it for like an hour. And we'll just talk all real soft like this as you all get stiff with Stiffler. That'd be funny. Honestly, we debated doing some of that with the CNC machines, but since we already got a couple of businesses out there copying us, we don't really want them watching our machines run all over and over again. Like, they've already copied a few things we're doing. We don't need any more of it. Dude, that sucks. Is there any way you could reach out to, like, any local branches? Like, is Open Carry Texas still active? Be like, hey, can I get some advice? And be like, how do I deal with these local organizations that won't leave my gun shop alone? Maybe Gun Owners of America, like, do they have any advice on how to navigate these issues? It's always local bullshit. It's fucking annoying. New York does that too. Like, you can follow all the rules, but then New York's like, nah, fuck you. You're under arrest for violating New York. Well, fuck you, New York. I mean, we do sell slides there, and they haven't restricted us like California has, so we're good to go. Still annoying. Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. We were talking to one business a while back because they were going through a similar issue, and we were able to supply them with slides that they could sell along with other stuff, and because it's non-FFL related, so they were still able to make money. able to get parts kits and things like that. Basically, they just kind of thrived a little bit on selling non-FFL related items while they were hung up in the background. There we go. All nice and packaged. We'll get that mailed out tomorrow, see if there's any more tonight. Yeah, if you guys are available, give Jericho a sub. Get him to help him get us to his 50 so we can start doing lives. But I've hit my 2 hours. That's where I'm going to kill it. And I'm probably going to hang with the family or maybe watch some other lives and do some stuff. Maybe grab a whiskey. But thank you guys so much for popping in. Thank you for checking out all of our slides and our Glocktober sale. Oh. Dude, unboxing videos, wrapping videos, stuff like that is freaking helps. If you have any range videos, go do that. That helps build your content. But again, thank you so much, everybody. I'm popping off. You guys have a wonderful day. And as always, stay 2A.